Hey, what's up, YouTube? Marco here. I'm headed into Smith's Marketplace on East Lake Mead Parkway. I thought this was going to be a quick video, show the prices of some essential goods, but this became a very long video. This is going to be a 3-hour video showing the prices of just about everything that I think you might need to know just to get a good idea how much your grocery bill would be if you were to move out here in Las Vegas. At least at this location, right? Started with Edge because I feel like they're the first thing to come up after gas prices, the price of Edge. So, I showed an option right there, $179, right before that, one for $150. And, I like to give as many options as I can. Some people, they shop organic. Some people, they want free range Edge. Some people want brown eggs, So I'm just trying to show everybody, what there is to see. Of course, feel free to jump around in the video. There's going to be the chapters, so that way, you don't have to sit through more edges than you want to see. But I didn't even know that was a thing. There was like a double carton right there. Also, I'm not going to be chopping up this audio. I'm just going, this is a 3-hour video. I'm going to try to get this done here in just the 3 hours. I'm also planning on having music over this. I spent most of the day emailing whoever I could find owns the rights to music. All right, we got milk here. It was like $3.19 for that. What's that? Skim milk, low fat, 1% low fat milk. And then over here was that, I think, your 2% classic blue cap, right? And then you got those slim bottles. I don't know what they're called, but $1.79. Some organic milk, DHA omega 3. This is going to be a long video to do the subtitles on, to cut up, to do all that. That's why I haven't been hosting in a couple days. I've been working on this. More organic milk. But yeah, I just want viewers to be able to see for themselves, right? Are the prices of groceries actually too high, or are they cheaper than I thought, right? You don't have to take, an Instagram post word for it. You don't have to trust a news outlet, let's say. Just see it for yourselves. Compare it to what you pay for groceries right now. Here's, I didn't even know this orange milk was a thing. It was, I think I get a closer look, yeah. I was just thinking, what kind of milk has the orange lid? Never saw that before. I felt like chocolate milk. Chocolate milk for, what was that, $4.59 right there. Yeah, so and I tried to order this video and things that would make sense, at one point I do your breakfast stuff into your lunch, I do all the canned stuff, all the frozen stuff together. I do, what else do I do? All your refrigerated stuff together pretty much. So, some people love that Fairlife brand. Carb Master seemed interesting to me. Back when I was trying to gain weight for high school football, that might have been something to help out. Then again, I'm not here to be advertising for any brands, just things that caught my eye in the moment, things that will catch my eye in the moment. I might give a little shout out to, right? But I'm not out here seeking any branded deals by any means. I do like almond milk though. I gotta say, I feel like during COVID, I overdid it on ice cream. Just eating a little tub a day, pretty much. I just think over time, that just backfired on me. So, I mean, I just drink that almond milk now, if anything, with some cereal. Plant-based stuff here. I'll do more grocery videos also. I feel like I might have to linger around these prices a little bit more, but hopefully you get a quick glance and we move on, because this, I mean, it was 3 hours of, I had to go back. I went in the morning early, and then I went late at night, so I didn't want to be a guy that was just out filming around too much. All right, I do buy this almond milk here at Almond Breeze. Yeah, right there. It's because it's $1.99. With that hint of honey, that's one of my go-tos, or the vanilla. I've tried this before. I mean, I'm not gonna spend any longer talking about it. All right, this, I think we're getting into that coffee creamer, and I might cut the clip. Or no, we're going into it just half and half. It's all in the same family. The whipped cream. All right, moving on to more essential stuff. Now, I know that there's a lot of different types of water, but I didn't cover that. We're talking about cost of living. I mean, you got 40 bottles of water for $5. You got like the jugs for about $1.50. These Dasani want what? $5 for the 24 Dasani. Okay. Now, if you're not comfortable drinking out of plastic, you know, I don't think I got boxed water or the canned water on here. My apologies, but yeah. Oh, why is that title just show? Let's see, I'll have to fix that. That should say bread, not a title text here, but yeah, here we got bread. Just another essential loaf of bread. That's another thing that I feel like gets talked about when talking about how are the times. Loaf of bread. Got whole grain, whole wheat. Just get a quick glimpse of your bread. I'm sure everybody's got their go-tos of brands that they like. So hopefully you can almost do your shopping all in one video. You know, skip around, boom, boom, boom. Here's the items that I would want. Tally up your theoretical grocery bill. And yeah, I mean, butter bread. Never had it. Whole wheat. That's what I try to buy. I've heard whole wheat is like the healthiest type of bread. I know white is good. Right there, yeah, $2.99. But I've heard it may not be the healthiest for you. I don't know anything more. Could be wrong on that. Wonder Bread. Always, I mean, I don't think I've ever tried that, but I know that's got a lot of hype behind it. We got like the buns here, hamburger buns. $3.99 for these. Hot dog buns, $1.99. I don't want my commentary, like I'll try to cover some prices, but if I'm yelling out these prices all video, I'm gonna sound like an auction house guy. That's not the goal. Excuse me. Again, like I know a lot of YouTubers might, right there, right? They might cut that. Oh, oops, I've coughed. Let me edit that out. I'm just gonna keep this thing rolling here. You know, most of this channel, the point is just being real, giving you the real look, and that's gonna be me also giving this commentary. I also understand, not that I'm the funniest guy, right? I'm no comedian, but I do feel like it adds a little bit of extra something to just looking at food items, right? And I am going to try to get that music going too behind here. I was saying before, I was reaching out to these, record labels or just, the people that actually own their music, and I've got an okay from one group. It's going to be the Sanchez music to me, as long as this channel is not monetized and I'm not using it for any monetization. They're good with that, and that's the goal. So this channel is not going to be monetized. I'm not going to be going out of my way to have ads for viewers, to try to come up on, this or that, but now I have to do this and that. Like, I'm just trying to work on my own schedule, get you guys this good content, and see everything of Las Vegas. Coming up is going to be that jelly jam and peanut butter to go on that bread. Here we are. I'm a big fan of apricot. Like apricots in general. Okay, this brand here, my mom had found I think it was like a chocolate. It was something. It was so good back at home. Apple butter, that is phenomenal. This is not stuff that I'm maybe having a jar of apple butter twice in my life, but that's always a good time. I like the strawberry jam. I would go strawberry over jelly or grape. If you want to squeeze out that jelly, it's $3.29, $3.69 from the Welch's. Goober's 2 for 1 right there. Jelly and jam, $4.99. Here's that Smart Way, $1.95. We got the peanut butter. I go back and forth between crunchy and creamy. I go through phases. I don't have an allegiance to one or the other. I even like that. Yeah, I had that, the natural. Had that. I've had the honey one too. I'm a fan of just that touch of honey in things. I feel like makes a good impact. Skippy brand. I feel like buying the bigger tubs of things pay off more in the long run. It just makes it a little bit harder to carry it to your car and inside the house, but I think you are saving money when you go with the larger jugs of things. Okay, here looks like your glass jarred peanut butter. More Skippy. Oh, now we're looking at that like organic, more so advertises healthier peanut butter potentially. Definitely, seemingly. Okay, here we go. Lunch meats. Hillshire Farms. We're looking at like $3.99 for a pack of those. There's also going to be Lunchables. I know. A lot of Lunchables are in this. And the different meats seem to still linger around $2.99 from the Hillshire Farm. Yeah, I mean, everything's $2.99. Here is Oscar Mayer, more just a lunch meat, different brand, $4.49 for their stuff, it seems like. $3.99 for that. I did buy myself some hard salami from Hillshire Farms there, and I think I got one of the turkeys. Went back and bought my groceries after doing all this filming inside of the store, and I just got the things that kind of really jumped out at me as a good deal. There's just more prices. Again, it would be excuse me, it would almost be impossible to be shouting out all these prices. So, but I feel like numbers are numbers, and if international viewers have a sense of the conversion rate, it might still make sense and be able to help them out. Here we're looking at like white turkey and bologna. I don't understand why bologna is spelled like that, but okay, those P3 things, I used to eat them probably back in college. Probably once since college. I graduated in 2018. You know, also some people outside of prices, they might be wanting to know the availability of items out here. They may be thinking, well, hey, they're in a desert. What comes to Las Vegas food-wise? Is it a food desert? No, we got everything. Plenty of stuff. Little charcuterie boards. Okay, we're getting into the Lunchable territory here. 4 for $5. Still want to show this stuff. I mean, if you got kids, if you're packing a lunch every day, 5 days a week, you might want to know what the price of Lunchables are. 4 for $5 there for those. And you know, with the Mighty Bites and Lunchables, you got Pokemon on the Lunchables. We got some trainers. ZA, don't have that game. I'm surprised I glazed over the Pokemon like that. There was Chikorita, Totodile. Oh, here we go. There we go. Now I'm $2.29. I don't know what the name of the little pig is. I know he turns into Emboar. I'm blanking on the name of that guy. Mario Kart, Bowser. Okay, we got Zygarde there in the dog form. And I'm not sure what the name of that new Pokemon is. Donkey Kong. I don't know why did they change his eyes? Just recently, Donkey Kong's eyes now look different. Okay, fruits. An apple a day will allegedly keep the doctor away. Got lots of different types of apples. I don't know if I saw them here, but overall, I'm a big fan of the Honeycrisp apples. Granny Smiths. I thought these are some pretty nice views. Just seeing the fruit. Cosmic Crisp apples. Oh, here we go. Honeycrisp apples. There we go. Those. I mean, a nice bite out of that on a summer day. This is the first time I'm using my new mic, the DJI mini mic. Got that for like $100 at Best Buy. I don't know if I said that already. I think I might have said that when I was testing before I started this video. We got apples in a bag. If you don't want to be worrying about, oh, how much is this per pound maybe, like weighing them out yourself, just grab the bag. feel like hey, let me know what your favorite apple is down below in the comments. That would be like a good YouTuber's statement to make. I'm not too worried about doing stuff like that, trying to generate the engagement. I'm more so, I've been telling people too, I'm just trying to get everything filmed first and then do the promoting, right? I don't want to be out here promoting the channel too much until there's stuff for people to go see, where they can go look up a town, any area, and there's at least one video, 2 videos, right? That they can be like, oh, that's familiar. Love grapefruit and oranges. I was told that, I remember it. I had this aunt that lived in Italy. I've mentioned her before, in that town, Porto Santo Stefano. And she would take the time to, like, the grapefruit, how like each piece of grapefruit is a tiny little pulp. She'd be picking those apart to feed to me, like tiny bite size. Great lady. All right, back to the fruit here. Plums, another great fruit. I know I said this channel's unbiased, right? I'm just sorry for just, this I feel like. Who doesn't have some favorite fruits? And again, tell me below what yours are. Nectarines. Here's like your organic stuff. I feel like there's an organic section at some point. Grapes and berries. You got grapes in a bag, grapes in a little plastic box. I would prefer the purple grapes, but I would take any grape that's frozen. You take grapes, run them under the water, throw them in the freezer. You wait until they are hard. That is like candy. I'll take a frozen green or purple over any purple. These the bad ones look like they're seedless. Looks like we got oranges in a bag. Organic lemons. I really hope this audio saves. I would be very disappointed if I had to refilm me talking about these groceries. Because I'll be watching this. I've seen them when I filmed this. Doing the voiceover now, I'll be doing the subtitles. 3-hour video here. Hopefully the product comes out good. Hopefully you're enjoying looking at these fruits, getting some good information. If you sit there with a piece of paper and a pen, you could map out your entire grocery bill, I feel like. Now, I didn't cover some. You're not going to see yogurt. You're not going to see I know yogurt, like cheese. I don't think that I did too much on cheese. You'll see some cheese, not too much cheese. Pineapple and melons, you're gonna see those. Just the price of watermelons, $5.99. Golden honeydews. Melons, Emerald Rush. That sounds... Hold on, let's say melons. Okay, melons, hammy. Seeded watermelon. Organic bananas. And exotic fruit. Oh, yeah. I mean, check out some of these fruits here. Honey mangoes. What is that? Oh, that didn't. Star fruit. I should have left the camera there longer. Kumquats, dragon fruit. Mangoes. Bananas for 55 cents. Great deal. Dragon fruit, the yellow dragon fruit. Okay, there we go. Easy break coconuts. I wanted one. I wanted to buy one and see how easy it was to crack. We got one of those. Kiwis. Red cherries. I like cherries. I feel like, is there seedless cherries? I always just feel like you get into this whole like spit in. Sometimes I keep too many of the seeds in my mouth. I feel like it just feels like you're doing a little too much to enjoy the cherry. Blueberries. I got this one buddy I met in Vegas, and he was staying in Colombia, I think, for a little bit. He was staying somewhere in South America, and he showed me the prices. That little pack of blueberries, it was either $18 or $32. I know that's a big difference. It was one of those two prices though, and I was shocked. He was shocked. Here's some potatoes though. All different types of potatoes. Hopefully the music that I'll have on this gets approved and fills in some of the blank spaces of me talking. And maybe you don't want to hear me talk too much, you know? Let me know if you want grocery videos to have no commentary, and we can do that in the future potentially. But I just feel like it's going to add a little bit more of a... Honestly, I'm probably going to keep doing it. I think it's just putting my best foot forward, putting the best content out there that I can. The drives, though, those will be no commentary. Those are just kick back. Check out the drive. I did a drive to the strip from East Lake Mead Parkway. I took the highway. The route is in the video, and it's about 30 minutes. I parked in the Fashion Show Mall. If you want to check that out, you'll get to see how exactly the commute looks. And again, I plan on doing that from every single entrance of the highway, just to help people be informed about what their commute to work will look like. Right now, I'm informing you what the price of garlic, ginger roots, and tomatoes are. But it is the channel's called It's Everything Vegas Suburbs. And we're about to be at the 30-minute mark, 1/6 of the way there. Filming these groceries. But it's important. I gotta say too, I used to work at a grocery store twice. First one, here's like Salad Greens. In Chicagoland, there's these places called Jewel-Osco. All right, so I was working there when I was like a junior in high school, maybe senior, at a location, two towns over. And it was cool, but what I felt like was as soon as I got promoted to being a cashier, I missed getting the carts from the parking lot. Because that's like a little bit of freedom, you're able to kind of do your thing, stay inside, badge some stuff, get outside, chase some carts. Once you're a cashier, you're just there, you're just standing there. And I realized, like, hey, this quote-unquote promotion was not worth it. So I ended up quitting. I mean, I got scheduled like every weekend, every holiday, and I had asked for the NFL wild card weekend off, and it was just like a random Bengals Texans game, just some nonsense like that, and they didn't give it to me, and I quit. Which is key in the story, because later on I ended up going back to work for that company because my friend, he works at a different location, and I was like trying to get a job for winter break and a little bit more. I think I worked here twice. Yeah, I worked here back in the winter, and then I came back for the summer. So, and I did this because my friend worked there, and he was doing the bagger/carts. And I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll reapply, and I just won't do cashiering, and me and you, we can be working these carts, doing the bagging, which is cool for a little bit until he gets promoted to like where they cut the produce, and we got a new boss and stuff. And sure enough, like I was just not enjoying it. We had this one lady that worked at the DMV, and it was weird. She would come by all the time. She would be heavily flirting with all of the male employees at the in the front end. And like, I mean, she'd be putting her hands on your arm. She would be making signs. It was, it was weird. She would just be sitting there, for her break. 30 minutes off, she's out here on the bench or just like in the front end. And I remember one time, this was right before I quit. Oh, yeah, so I'll get to it later, but I saw her. She was like walking my way. And I just got on my hands and knees and I crawled out the cart door, and I just booked it. I didn't run, but I just swiftly walked to the back of the parking lot to look for some carts, because I was just not looking to talk to her that day. But back to what I was saying before, Jewel Osco, all right, this is a union job. And hey, unions are great. It's important, and I'm not saying anything bad about the union by any means. But I do just think that it's kind of funny when I share that, because I quit the first time, right? I never left the union the proper way. So when I was back working for the company, my paychecks were, one, I was getting taxed, which is fine, right? Everyone's got to pay their taxes. I had my union dues because I, was in the union, joined the union. And then I had my union fees for not leaving properly the first time. So like, I swear, I was getting paychecks that were like $30. It didn't make sense. I was like, I'm pretty much working for free, paying back the union. So yeah, and I don't know why those union dues or whatever didn't kick in. I don't know. I just remember the union fees, the union dues, taxes. It was too much coming out of my paycheck, so I had to quit that job. But grocery store employees, those are essential workers. Don't forget it. It's what the media was saying back in 2020. Okay, here we go. We're talking about frozen single-serve meals here. I am not a good cook. Honestly, yeah, so this is the type of stuff that's important to someone like me. And yeah, frozen meals. You're gonna see healthy choice here. We're looking at about $3.99 for whichever one you're gonna want. $3.79 for these healthy choices with like the brown label. What do we got here? Smart Ones, $2.49. I mean, that is a fair price for a meal. Some people call them TV dinners. Some people call them those frozen meals. They're just called frozen single serve or lean cuisine. 4 for $10 or $3.99. Lots of different dinner options. I was opening up the doors trying to avoid the glare or those items that are for sale in the front. Dolly Parton, great singer. She's done the Las Vegas residencies. I'm glad to see her stuff's up top right there. Dolly Parton moving into food. Saw a lot of her items. Michael Angelo's. I thought that was a good Michael Angelo's. 2 for $7. Saw a sign outside the Venetian one time and it said Michelangelo didn't believe in minimalism. And I liked that. I thought that was a great little quote. Great advertising. What do we got? Stouffer's here. 4 for $10 or $3.29 or $3.79 for these options. $8.99 for these. Okay, $4.99 for the Devour Big Bowls. Boston Market, $3.99. There used to be a Boston Market right by the house back home. They shut down, and I felt like writing was on the wall when, for some reason, they were just having you leave your food in the plastic bag on the table. Like, I don't know why not. Why not just let us $2.99 for these, Marie? These are, I feel like, a good fair price. Why not just let the customers throw the trash out? It was kind of weird. I don't know if it was a COVID thing that just went on for too long or what. Yeah, $2.99 for these though. Marie calendars. Hungry Man. $3.99. I better get we are at Smith's. Also, I know too, putting out this lawn content, right? There might be moments that, you know, I might say something slightly goofy, maybe, right? Just make sure that It's always in context, right? I don't want to. I mean, I understand it could happen, right? But like those out of context sound bites or snippets, you know, that's something that I would be a little bummed if ever happened. But do know, like, hey, it's part of the game. I am on YouTube here pretty much talking for 3 hours straight, but I feel like we're just talking about grocery items, right? So should be all good. Pot pies. I feel like these are a good single serving option. I mean, 10 for $10. It's $1. That's $1 per meal right there. I've had one of those before. Not bad. Okay, frozen family meals. You know, some good options here. You're going to be able to get a couple servings out of it if it's for yourself or a feed your family. We just saw some stuffed peppers. We're looking at some lasagna here. Chicken Alfredo. About $8 to $9 for these lasagnas, it looks like. $9.49 for these pulled pork and chicken enchilada rolls. Another lasagna. What do we got here? Okay, looks like some pasta. Yep, some different types of pasta. $8.29, $10.99 for this here. Chicken and vegetables mix. $8.99. Alfredo chicken, $10.99. Bag of pasta and vegetables. We got the meatballs. This looks like more pasta, $8.29. Different forms of pasta, different shapes, different sauces. We got the meatballs here. I did buy some meatballs. Might have been those. No, they were about, I thought they were $6. I bought a pack of meatballs from right here. Lots of meatball options. Yeah, it was those. I got these right here, Swedish meatballs. I used to work at IKEA too, so we'll see if those taste like the ones that they used to make, but for $6. I mean, seemed like a good deal. I've had that before too, the sweet and sour chicken stuff. Pretty good. Looking at like $8.50, $8.49 for these items here. $7 for those dumplings. We got egg rolls, $4.99, buy one get one free here at Smith's. Steamed dumplings, $4.99. I can't pronounce some of these things right, but spring rolls, those are 3 for $10. Egg rolls are $5.49. Okay, frozen vegetables. This I would call, I mean, a lot of these I feel like are essentials, but frozen vegetables can definitely help get you by healthy items for cheaper cost. I mean, we're looking at what, $1.29 for that bag, $3. It's hard to tell what some of that is. YouTube, I'm sorry if you're watching this and it's just hard to tell. Green beans, 99 cents. Okay. Yep. at $1.89 for those green beans. $1.29 for those. $3.19 for the peas. $1.29 for that broccoli. So that this footage is not great. I feel like on this section, $1.79 for the lima beans. Okay, 3 onion blend. How much was that? $1.29 for the mixed vegetable blend. I have to slow down next time I do the frozen stuff here. $1.79 for what? I'm sorry, YouTube. This section here probably could be better. Okay, $2.29 for the simple veggies. Because of all my pride, the tears I gotta hide. Oh, needles and pins, 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 needles and I feel like I slowed down a little bit at this point. I did not have my phone in my other hand to like see the shot and how it was coming out. So, because I needed that other hand to open up the doors and, you know. So, I was a little in the dark on how this would turn out exactly. Here we got the frozen fruit, great for making smoothies. $7.49 for that bag of sliced bananas and strawberries. I mean, you can make some great smoothies here. I bought one of those magic bullets in the past, and I went through a huge smoothie phase, and I still love smoothies. I don't make them anymore right now, but I might have to get back to doing that. These are some good options. Those acai bowls or acai bowls, I don't know how to say it, I'm sorry. But I feel like those are like ice cream for breakfast, and I love it. The school that I used to work at, they got like an upgraded like lunch area, I guess, that would sell like healthier foods, and you could get those there. Incredible. Right here you can get burritos for like, the prices range. You can get some for even $1 here. I think that those might surface in a little bit, but burritos range between like $1 and $4 for the frozen ones. These are gonna be like your frozen, you know, snacks. Starts with more so your burritos, your taquitos, stuff like that, but it gets it gets into like a wide range of different genres of frozen snacks. Quesadillas right there. I'm glad that I've slowed down. I feel like it's easier to see the prices. Those frozen bags too are a little all over the place. 2 for $10. Taquitos, $7.49. Three for $4. Here we go, 69 cents. $1.59. I got one of those, the black one there, for $1.59. It was good. It was definitely better than the ones that I got for less. Like I could tell, like, all right, it was better. Tamales, love a tamale. Corn dogs. $8 for some corn dogs. Gluten free, that's important. Got friends, got supporters of the channel that are gluten free. So I was thinking about stuff like that while filming. Uncrustables, the bright eyed berry. That looked good, made me want to try it, but I did not get it. But these things, Uncrustables, they're bomb. I mean, they're so good sometimes I just eat them frozen. Like, you just bite into it, the peanut butter kind of cracks. It kind of thaws the frost in your mouth. Maybe I'm the only one that does that. I have a friend too that was making her own Uncrustables, like I think just using like a cutout, making the sandwich using the cutout. Somehow it compressed shut, I don't know. I didn't ask too much how it's done. Cheese curds, $2.99. I will say, out here in Vegas, I don't think there's any Culver's out here. And I would definitely enjoy Culver's and their cheese curds, butter burgers. Great establishment in the Midwest. Pretzel sticks for $10 there. White Castle. Big fan of White Castle. I'm disappointed that they're disappearing a little bit. The sliders, I'm going to stand by them. I think they're good. I think that they, I have chef friend. He says that, the way that there's holes in the bun, so that way it steams. But it's a good burger. Obviously, it is for a slider at, 2 a.m. I love it. Okay, these pizza rolls were a great looking deal. It was like talking about 130 rolls for like $10. I mean, look at this. 130 for $13. They were on sale for like 10. I got the Kroger brand for like $8 of 130. Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets no longer have that like cardboard that you got to heat them up with. It's just straight up throw them in the microwave now. Frozen pizza. Everyone's got their own allegiance. I feel like Cheez-It pizza. I thought this was new. Never seen that. $9.99 for the Cheez-It pizza. DiGiorno, I feel like they put in the work advertising on TV. DiGiorno, it's not delivery. I wonder if anybody's ever actually been eating a pizza. Like, you show up to your buddy's house, there's a pizza. You're confused. Hey, was this made in your oven, or was this delivered in? Has that ever happened? Red Baron. I'm assuming that was a real guy, right? The Red Baron, a pilot. What's his connection to pizza? Okay, Jimmy Dean, frozen breakfast. There's a lot of options here. Looking at like $6 for those $7 for those honey biscuits from Jimmy Dean. Jimmy Dean's Delights for $7. Yeah, pretty much $7, $6.99 for any of your Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich options. Another brand we're at $6.29. Let's say that was Kroger. $6 for some alternate types. $1.79 for those sausages. Egg and cheese, $7. $1.79 here. Pancakes and sausage. Pretty much the breakfast corn dog. Talking about like $12 for those though, I think. Okay. 2 for $3 and these breakfast burritos. Pancakes. I missed the price on that. Sorry, YouTube. Toaster strudels. I haven't had a toaster strudel since like the 6th grade. Man. Toaster donut. That's new. Wow. I almost want to go back for some toaster strudels and just try that again. Paying waffles, $1.99. $4.29 for 24 waffles. French toast sticks. Oh, those are bomb too. Back in the 6th grade. Okay. 5 protein waffles, $5.99. I remember back then it was like you need to find ways to get your protein in. Now protein finds you. Protein is showing up in the form of Eggo waffles now. I'm more enticed by those cookies and cream one right there. Yeah, that looks bomb. If I'm having Eggos, I'm not looking for my protein. I'm looking for an American breakfast right there. Oh, but you can go chocolate chip protein, combine it. Buttermilk seems good. Premier Protein with their own cinnamon French toast sticks, waffles. Okay, yeah, I've had half. You know, maybe I take all that back about the protein because I've had the Kodiak pancakes before, and that's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I've had those before. So, hey, Eggo's more than welcome to start making their own protein pancakes too, and waffles. Bob Evans. Tennessee Pride. I was in Nashville this past winter, visiting 2 buddies. Okay, frozen chicken. This is the type of stuff where if you buy it in a big bag, frozen, cook that yourself, let it thaw. The back of the bag talks about like let it thaw for 12 hours in the bottom of your fridge. So if you got the time for all that, I mean, that's a lot of chicken. 25 pounds, no, 2.5 pounds. I was about to say 25 pounds. 2.5 pounds of chicken, I feel like is going to take you a long way. Again, I'm not the biggest cook, so I might have some novice takes on this stuff, but we're just past the hour mark. feeling pretty committed to not stopping, at least until I'm halfway through, for like a quick break. Tyson. Okay, I don't want to. I'm not trying to say anything bad about these people. Maybe you like Tyson. I will say they're the type of company that I just feel like you got to be checking those recalls or those, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And then too, like if you're making that much chicken, there's a chance that you have more things go wrong, maybe because you're just putting out that much chicken, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm no farmer. I'm no grocery master. Oh, Korean barbecue. And then the goal too of this video is that maybe just like the items that you buy, it stands out more. You know the bag, you know the box, you just look at the price. It's more so harder to read what some of these bags are saying. Blackened flavored, that was quick, that was hard to read. So the next time I do a grocery store video, I will take the time to pan these a little bit slower, I think. Especially these bags, I think, are what's harder to get done accurately. Or not accurately, but thoroughly. So like the frozen vegetables, the frozen chicken bags, that stuff, next time I film, I'm going to be conscious and do it slower, get a better shot. All right, we're at the burgers. Okay, these are bomb. Frozen dessert, but those frozen fruits, doesn't matter if you're the blueberries, the strawberries, the cherries, any of them, white chocolate, regular chocolate, bomb. Those are amazing. I'm sure other brands are good too. Those should be $7.49. Right, $7.49. Dolly Parton, again, showing up on the frozen pie, cheesecakes, Marie calendars, again with the $8.79 pies. Pie crusts are down there for like just over $4.50 if you want to be making your own pie. Cool Whip. What is the jury still out for like what Cool Whip is? All right, now we got the canned tuna coming up here. Chicken of the Sea, right? Yep, right there. Your Starkist, $1.29, $4.79 for your like 6-pack. Okay, Okay, those are like your anchovies and stuff for like $10.29. Smoked oysters for $3.29, I think. Sardines, $4.99. So you have a couple that, like, here's more sardines, $7.79. So different fish options, canned fish here. Mackerel, $4.59. Okay, we're going into the canned vegetables now. Now, like, I mean, just noticing, you got that. I love the cans with the little easy flip, you know, break the can open versus busting out the can opener. But here's your different canned goods. Too quick. Way too quick. YouTube, I'm sorry about that. Maybe it's not too fast if you're just watching it, but to like look at it, to read, to like talk about the prices. But it definitely feels like on this clip too, I went too fast as I did with the frozen vegetables and the frozen chicken. But you know, it's the first time doing this stuff. Just gonna get better. Gonna always try to improve this craft. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. This section was not great. I'm sorry. My apologies, YouTube. Hopefully the canned tomatoes coming up is a little bit better of a shot. Okay. Canned tomatoes. $2.49 for a good amount. $2.49. $4 for $5 for those tomatoes. And they're organic too. $2.79 for the tomato paste. 10 for $10 for that sauce. $0.59 for that. Okay, beans, canned beans, Bush's beans, 2 for $5. $1.49 there. Got Bluey on the can. Ranch style beans for 99 cents. $1.79 for Bush's original. Bush's pinto beans are $1.49. $1.49 for those black beans. Kidney beans, 10 for $10. $10 for $10 for those. Chili beans, $2.29. 99 cents for pork and beans. Red beans, 89 cents. We going into soda. Now, soda, I feel like, is not an essential so I just kind of quickly went through it. You can get like 10 for 10 for the non-brand name ones, or like $2 for your brand name 2 liters. That was pretty much the price. Did not matter. 2 for 5, right? Of Mountain Dew. 4 for 5 on these like slimmer bottles. Starry, I think of them because of the NBA 3-point contest. Cans $11.29. Dice. Might have seen that. $7.49 though seems to be the going price for your bottled soda in the 6-pack. We got juice. Your jugs of juice, not in the refrigerator. Now again, I have said it on the channel before. Be careful, as my lacrosse coach told me, drinking your calories. You know, like a couple nice glasses of juice tastes great, but it was a really quick X amount of calories. You just consume 2 on top of a meal. All right, these Welch's here, Martinelli's, phenomenal. Nothing like cracking open a bottle of that sparkling cider still. Apple juice, $1.49. Treetop Honeycrisp, that's looking good right there. Man, I might have to go back for that. Mott's for $4.49. $4.49. These prices should be easy to see, match up with the juice. Maybe you're maybe you're a family man, maybe you're a mom. You gotta buy juice for the crew. $5.49 for that Welch's, but I know that's some good juice right there. Hawaiian Punch. I've heard that it doesn't get cold. Is that true? Like I feel like I've drinking cold Hawaiian Punch before. But I saw something on the internet, which I know you can't be believing, but claiming that it's not a drink that gets cold. I thought these looked like Buzz Balls. Like the original concept of Buzz Balls. Jumex. This is that nectar, $1.79. Coconut water. I don't know what that stuff is floating around in those bottles. $0.79 for the can of nectar. Now we got juice in the fridge. All your orange juice variations. There's that one with the orange with mango. That might be in here. I feel like orange juice tastes better on an airplane. Pour it into that plastic cup where you can just like smell the plastic as you drink the orange juice. Maybe that's just me. Okay, this right here, that Minute Maid, might be one of the best juices ever. And Dirty Dom Mysterio. Couldn't believe seeing him on what I just called one of the best juices of all time. WWE. Is he still the mega champion for AAA? Not sure. We got teas. And we're moving on to juice boxes and pouches. Again, if you got younger ones, you know, maybe that juice always just tastes better coming out of a box or a pouch. More portable, take it on the go. Grab the juice box, get in the car, put it in the lunch box, send them to school. Kool-Aid Jammers, $2.79, $1.89 for those things with the twist off tops. Kool-Aid Jammers, love. Are those ones where you can see the back, see how much you have left in the back with the see-through pouch? Sunny D, same thing. I heard the same thing I was just talking about with Hawaiian Punch. I heard Sunny D is in the same realm of like it doesn't get cold, but that doesn't seem real to me. I feel like I've drank a cold Sunny D. Great flavor right there, the fruit punch. Yoo-hoo, the chocolate drink. Skittles drink, I mean I never saw anything like that before. And we got iced coffee. It's kind of busting out all the drinks here. And it's coming up on the hour-and-a-half mark soon. I might stop my audio real quick, go grab a quick sip of water, and get back to the commentary. Coffee in a bag. Lots of different forms of coffee. If you like coffee, if you know coffee, I'm sure you know exactly what bag or container or K-cup that you use, and can see the price real quick. If I'm gonna drink a coffee, it's rare, and I would definitely go like a white chocolate mocha, hot or iced, depending on the season. But that to me is one of my favorite drinks with an almond milk. That's my coffee order if I had one. Here we got the K-cups. Got my mom a Keurig 1 year for Christmas. I feel like that was a good gift. Might need to be replaced at this point. But these K-cups I feel like are a game changer. Big week in sports for me. I mean, for a lot of people, got the NHL hockey finals, the Golden Knights from Las Vegas. They're in the mix, as well as the New York Knicks. My team led by Jalen Brunson. Been supporting him since 2018. And I've never seen a team that I've rooted for make it to the Super Bowl or the finals or nothing like that. So this will be the first time. My one buddy called me a bandwagon fan for being a Vegas Golden Knights fan, but I'm like, dude, I moved here twice. You know, like I'm allowed to root for the hometown team. And then the Knicks, you know, I've definitely been watching the last 4 years. I know a lot of Knicks fans have been watching a lot longer, but I was all in when they signed Jalen Brunson. I know some people thought he was overrated. Some people thought that they wanted Donovan Mitchell instead, right? People thought that he was undersized, just not that good. And I was like, this is a great signing. I was all in. So I'm going to be enjoying sports this week. Every day there's going to be, you know, either the Golden Knights or the Knicks on. Here's those Starbucks K-Cups. We're going to have even more coffee coming up after this. And then we'll jump into the creamers. And this stuff is important, you know, like I'm not just going to show the price of eggs, bread, and milk, and then let you kind of determine the price of groceries going off of that. I'll show you on this channel the things that you buy, and just let you know how much they're going to be for you to purchase them out here in the suburbs of Las Vegas. In this video, Smith's on East Lake Mead Parkway in Cadence, Henderson. Don't know much about coffee. I couldn't tell you, you know, too much, if honestly anything, about the different types of blends and that stuff. Here you got your coffee in a Folgers coffee. Try just to zoom in here on all the different prices. And I'm sure that if this is your coffee, you can identify that container from a distance. And then I'm just here to show you the price of it. And hey, maybe you're paying less for it here than you do where you currently live. That's the whole point of this video. And again, I'm hoping to have, now the thing is too, is this video is pretty long, 3 hours. To have the music to take me 3 hours long, it might be tough. Because I'm trying to get the licenses to use this music. I mean, this is a not monetized channel. I'm not using it to try to make money. Just give viewers something to listen to other than me, as we looked at grocery prices together. And the music that we'll be playing, you know, some oldies, some smooth jazz. It's gonna be a good mix. Coffee creamer. Part of me feels like I showed this already, but maybe not. Maybe I oh, it was like the half and half before. I guess this is coffee creamer. Maybe it's different. Next section's gonna be baby food, so I plan on stopping it after this coffee creamer. Hopefully I'm able to continue recording after a quick pause. All right, YouTube, appreciate you watching. And when this video is published, I mean, there's not going to be any break in my audio, but just so you know, here I'm going to be stepping away from the computer for just one moment. All right, YouTube, we are back here looking at some baby food. I gotta say, this, now I don't have a baby, never had a baby, but it did not seem that expensive. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, $1.39 for a can. I don't know how many cans the baby would go through, right? But lots of different options for sure. It's been, I would say, you know, I can never actually remember me eating baby food, right? But more so for parents here. Got to make sure that there's the right brand for the right price. You know, if you're thinking about having a family out here or do have a family, this stuff is important. We're going to show the formula next. I didn't show the diapers. I thought I would save that for a different type of video since this is more so groceries. These squeeze pouches, these things are, I feel like, taken over. Like, where did they come from? But they are here to stay. You can put anything. You can put anything in that pouch form. For adults too, it's gonna sell. Or at least it's gonna be in the market. I don't know how well these things are selling, but I would assume well. $1.69. Seemingly, again, a great deal. I gotta say, my one friends, they've had 3 kids now since 2020, and these things right here, the puffs, the strawberry apple puffs, I have definitely not even sneaking, I've asked, but those things, those are still good, for sure. Again, I don't know. I have zero reference of like how much babies eat. So these prices to me, if you're thinking breakfast, lunch, and dinner for $1.69, you know, $1.99, seemingly not a bad deal. We got snacks and stuff. Elmo and the Cookie Monster, Big Bird, these guys are originals. Remember loving Sesame Street. Great show. I hope it's still on. Alright, coming up we have the baby formula. Now I know this is important. Back when I was working at that grocery store that I was talking about, I remember there was like vouchers or things that some parents would bring in to get their groceries or their formula for free or for a really good discount, because I know it's like an essential. Some people again are watching like, dude, of course, you know. But yeah, I mean, here's your different prices. I don't know if, you know, I don't even know if the doctor is the guy that tells you, hey, this is the type of formula you need. I don't know. If you don't, you can pretty much just go with whichever formula you want for your baby. Who knows? I sure don't. But again, as I say in this channel, I'm never trying to be Trying to be an expert. Just trying to be honest. And speaking of being honest, I said I was going to take like a 15-minute break. I ended up falling asleep. Woke up around 2 a.m. Then, just had to listen to my roommate for the next 2 hours and figured, hey, might as well just get back on it. Why wait for the sun to come up, It's 4:30 in the morning. Pedialyte, I feel like is where the electrolyte drinks really kind of got their inspiration from. Okay, cereal. We're starting off at like breakfast now. Cheerios, I feel like is almost the face of cereal. Lots of different new flavors now of Cheerios. I was pretty shocked. I didn't cover everything, but there's a lot of different Cheerios now. I mean, toasted oats, that sounds delicious. Oh, this right here, we got strawberry. Protein, right? As I said before, nowadays, my old football coach used to say you gotta find ways to get protein. Now he's probably saying, next time you see protein, get it, because it's everywhere now. Wheaties. Shredded wheat, maybe one of the most well-known, not like off-brand names. Shredded wheat, like that might have even came first before Wheaties. I don't know. Life cereal. Cheerios Oats Crunch, Oats and Honey. I've had that before. Pretty good. Tons of options. There's those gluten-free options. Honey Bunch of Oats. Does anybody remember those commercials with the old ladies in the factory? That's all I can remember. Iconic TV show here, Fred Flintstone. Tony the Tiger with Minecraft here. These look phenomenal. Strawberry milkshake, Frosted Flakes. I'm a fan of strawberry stuff. Cookies and cream milkshake. Some of these flavors I feel like are new, like AI generated flavors almost, but you can't deny they look appealing. Marshmallow, Toucan Sam. Seems like he's almost making a run for the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs guy, because he's now doing a chocolatey looking cereal right there, Cocoa Loops. Pops, not bad. Try Pops if you haven't. Quaker, repping the World Cup right there. Crave, that, I think I've had that before. Trix, that's one, that's been years. Lucky Charms, what do we got? New limited edition marshmallow. They always got some kind of new marshmallow rotating in and out. Oreo Puffs, that is, I forgot I saw that. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, they're also coming out with lots of new flavors, tapping into the strawberry game. I think there's lots of strawberry fans out there. Who remembers the Reese's Puffs, like rap commercials? There's a lot more great product from Cinnamon Toast Crunch S'mores cereal. I vaguely remember having that before. Yeah, there's this Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs guy. I can't remember his name. I'm almost surprised Reese's Puffs got away with not having a mascot guy. They just had those great commercials. Cookie Crisp, Bran Flakes. One of my grandma's favorites. I think I gotta call her up tomorrow, see what's up. Or today. I mean, it's 4:42 in the morning. Raisin Bran, another grandma's favorite. Golden Grams, not a bad cereal. Yeah, I liked cereal. I got a spoon from my friend Mary that said cereal killer, but it was like cereal, right? Cereal, because I'm loving bowls of cereal with some almond milk. You can mix up the milk. You can change up, I mean, tons of, I love this Special K there with the red berries. I've tried just about every flavor of that. Yeah, that's S'mores. It's kind of calling my name again. The bags of cereal. I feel like, Captain Crunch. Salute to him. Like, just watching this video again makes me feel like, you know what? It's time to maybe start having some of these sugary cereals again. Just a little. These are super convenient, those cups of cereal. Take it on the go. Okay. Catalina Crunch, I remember, was like one of Jalen Brunson's first endorsements. So shout out to them for believing in Jalen Brunson. Again, protein showing up, protein and fiber. That looks good. Peanut Butter Crunch, honey almond. I am a sucker for just, you add honey in anything, and almond too, to be honest. Thanks for watching also. Thanks for being a part of the channel. I appreciate anybody that takes the time to watch any of this content. This is like still the early days. You know, this is month 1 of working on this stuff. This is honestly the first grocery store video. We just did one of the first drive to the strip videos. If you're watching this stuff, I'm sure it's going to be way better in a year, but a lot of A lot of respect to you because I know it's not the best of content in a world full of editing and, oh, this had the Chrome, that had the Chrome label on it. Breakfast bars. I've tried all these products. I enjoy them. If you, again, I'm no influencer. I'm not trying to influence you to eat fig bars, right? I'm just more so giving you some audio to listen to, and some people I feel I might enjoy it. If you don't, just mute it, right? I think that's the game plan. I wouldn't not do this because some people actually might enjoy me rambling about breakfast meats, refrigerated. I gotta say, thankful of my mom when I was living with her, who might prepare me some sausages or something like that in the morning. Me, myself, if I got work in the morning, there's no way that I am getting the stove going, whipping up some sausage. That early in the morning, I'm not rolling like that. Wouldn't be worth it to me. So appreciative of things like basic cooking. Here we got, and not that I'm not gonna start, like, once I'm locked into the night shift, I'll be a guy that, is definitely open and making breakfast in the morning, right? Like, I'm gonna get into that more. I'm just being honest here. All right. These oatmeal in a cups had that. Another good protein option there. More protein. Even the Quaker is pushing protein now in his oatmeal. I remember my football coach in high school even telling the team to, like, make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and then put that in a blender with chocolate milk and drink that for protein. And my teammate, I gotta call him out, my teammate Dan, we did a lot of Xbox gaming together for years. Haven't talked to him in years, but he was a part of the party. This man actually did it. He blended the sandwich and the chocolate milk. He said it didn't taste that bad. So maybe Coach was onto something, but I'm just telling that story because those are the depths that you had to go to find protein. 2010 to 2014. Now it's Quakers got protein. Syrup, $2.69 for, like, your base syrup. Prices definitely go up, variations go up. In quantity, lots of different syrups. These are like making your own pancakes, gluten-free, buttermilk. I don't have many memories from elementary school making pancakes in 3rd grade. I remember that. That might be how little of cooking that I do in the mornings. I remember, like, oh yeah, when I was in 3rd grade, I made those pancakes. We got Dolly Parton showing up on the syrup too. She shows up sporadically throughout the video, Mrs. Butterworth. I was looking to see, like, where is Mrs. Butterworth, and then I realized she is the bottle. No more Aunt Jemima, I feel like. I don't even know if the brand is still out there. But miss her. I mean, that was almost everyone's aunt when it came to breakfast time. We got more bread. I'm hoping this is bread that I did not. This is labeled muffins and bagels, so those French rolls, keto bread. I've met a couple people that have tried the keto diet and stuff. I would always just try to recommend diet and exercise, you know, seem to be a good formula, some sleep. These are like English muffins. Prices are hard to see. I'm sorry, YouTube. There we go. Good visual on the bagels, $2.99. Raisin bread. I gotta say, try raisin bread if you haven't. We got the nutritional bars coming up. I'll say when it comes to fitness, what I usually do is, you know, I'm committed. You know, I will be drinking water, eating well, losing weight, right? And then once I get to a point that I'm happy about, I almost kind of just, all right, well, let me now go out and celebrate by eating whatever I want, you know. And if you do that for one day, you can usually not lose weight. If you do that for 2 days, 3 days, right? Now I've gained, let's say, 5 to 8 pounds, no longer feel happy about where I was. And then, all right, now I'm retraining to get back to, you know, that weight. Like the other day I was 148 pounds. That had me feeling like a, you know, UFC featherweight. So, all right, now I'm going to go out, enjoy some tubs of ice cream, you know, burritos, a bunch of nonsense. And after days of doing that, you know, now it's time to refocus. But that keeps it to me, keeps it fun. You know, I get to stay fit. I get to enjoy fun food still occasionally. I get the chase of like losing weight still, you know, versus maintaining always. Yeah. Yet I'm not preaching what to do by any means. Like there's, you know, if I'm chasing losing the weight again, I'll be getting the Cliff Bar at the gas station. If I've hit that goal weight, right, if I'm feeling good about where I want to be, then I'm gonna get the beef jerky stick. So it just ups and downs. You just can't you just can't stay on that one path for too long, because then it's hard to come back from. Kind bars, I mean, I feel like you guys can see the prices pretty well here. So again, I didn't want to sound like that auction house guy where I'm calling out all the prices, calling out all the brands. We got Z bars, you know, for $6.99, Nature Valley bars. I didn't want to do all that for this whole video. Bacon. I feel like one of the most American things to me is just like that cup of coffee or orange juice. It's like 1960. You're having bacon, and eggs. Reading the newspaper. Heading out for work in your, who knows, maybe, I don't know what cars were out back then. I know the Model T was the first car, but I don't know if that's what you would be driving back then. No, definitely not, because I think, definitely not. My mom, my family came here from Italy in the 60s, and the Model Ts definitely were not the car back then, so my apologies. Again, don't get me on the soundbite, please. Nature Valley bars. These are like your different filled bars. This to me is almost synonymous with taking a standardized test at school. You gotta go in for like the ACT, SAT. Your mom's gonna pack you a Nature Valley bar. There's Mario and Luigi promoting that Galaxy movie. Mario Galaxy to me, one of my least favorite 3D platforming Marios. The planets were very small. Who's Rosalina? Why are we helping her so much? Just the gameplay. I liked Sunshine a lot more. I liked 64. I liked Odyssey. Never played Galaxy 2. I think I'm going to buy that on the Switch. Quaker with the chewy bars. You can see the prices pretty well on this, I feel like. Honestly, these are, it's been a while. One is not going to do it for me, but a couple of those right now would be great. Cereal bars, great invention when those came out. And that was a game changer. Just like, oh, I don't have to stick around to eat breakfast. I can just take this and go. Pop-Tarts and Rice Krispies. If prices were all the same for the Rice Krispies, if you like, or for the my apologies, Pop-Tarts, just about, if you know your favorite flavor, if you like a variety of flavors, they're gonna have them here. My apologies, I was just shooting off a text. We got applesauce, strawberry applesauce. Those squeeze pouches that we saw in the baby food. Pretty good deal. I did buy one of those there for $3.79, that big tub of applesauce. What I forgot to buy was the cinnamon powder. I would like to just splash in some of my own cinnamon, mix that around. Mama Chia. lots of different squeeze pouch options in the market now. Okay, let's say you're going to be doing some baking, you're going to need flour. Here's your packages of flour.
Listen, baby. Don't even waste your tears on that insensitive. There's better things for you.
I don't have a great frame of reference for flour prices, but $2.69 for all that seems like a good deal. I feel like you can get your flour needs for relatively cheap. Almond flour, did not know that existed. $9.99, gluten-free. And I will be rewatching all of this to make sure the subtitles come out well. That's important. We got olive oil and vegetable oil here. You know what? This actually is wrong, because this is just olive oil, and I think vegetable oil is the next segment. I gotta fix that. Just like the enter text title that embarrassingly showed up earlier in the video. Well, it actually didn't show up. I thought it did. I can still edit that without anyone seeing, so I guess now I just exposed that. But here's your olive oil options. The next one should be the vegetable oils. Yep. But let's talk about canola oil, vegetable oil, corn oil, avocado oil. That's sounding interesting. I like the sound of that. $1.49 for that tall, slim bottle there of vegetable oil. The Cisco. Coconut oil. Okay, if you buy that PAM and just spray the pan, do you not need any oil then? Is that the point of that? Sunflower oil, I heard that is not healthy. But again, I don't know. I just asked that question about PAM. Okay, here we have vinegar, apple cider vinegar, a staple in the wrestling room. There's always going to be that kid with some skin infection, and I know that helps cure it. I think it's also good to drink. Like a shot of apple cider vinegar, I've heard, is good for you. Don't look that up. Please look that up before you try drinking apple cider vinegar. I'm not telling you to do that by any means. I don't do that. But we got it out here. Cool bottle for that vinegar. Did that say champagne vinegar? All right, chicken. Get into the the refrigerated meats. Well, here's frozen. Big bag there. Chicken breasts. $10.99 for the chicken cutlets. Chicken tenderloins, $8.99. $8.99 for these chicken thighs. 3-pound bag there. We got the spicy wings for $20. Chicken party wings, 4-pound bag there. Buffalo style wings for $19.99. Okay, here we have trimmed chicken. Prices are going to be on the little individual package. You can see it real quick if you look. It's in the top right underneath the scan bar. $364 for that one. $384, $379, right?
Money, gentleman. Oh, sugar, no, 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 no.
I'll get to the clip, or I'll tell you when the clip happened, but I throughout filming this entire video, and I'm very thankful for it, I've only had 2 people ask me what I was doing. One guy was a worker while I was filming the meat. He just asked, is there any reason why you're filming the meat? And when I started to explain, he was very quick to understand. He was cool about it. I gave him a business card, if you can call this a business even. I gave him a card to the YouTube. He was cool about it all. And then about 10 minutes after that, another guy was like, hey, are you filming a documentary or something? And I, explained about the channel, gave him a card, he pulled it up. He was inquiring about one of the videos. We were talking for a while, cool guy. He ended up offering me a job. I'm still looking for a night shift job. Honestly, I gotta get out there and do the hunt. I gotta get out there and job hunt. He offered me a pressure washing job. Sorry, I just yawned there. Again, I would be sleeping, but I feel like now's the time to get some work done. Pressure washing job. So I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what, that seems like a decent thing. I did some pressure washing in the past for my grandpa figure, and I was like, yeah, I'll probably do it. Then I looked into this. I don't know. I would be driving around a big van, big boots. It could be dangerous working at night, in the sense of like, if you make a slight mistake because you're tired, right? Well, there's a not a big chance, but there's a chance that you could be severely injured, right? Like, the scariest thing that I read was like, oh, you can get bacteria like so deep into your skin that they might have to amputate. I don't know if that's just Google, right? Being Google, kind of talking about the worst. But it was enough for me to kind of, and I talked about it with my friend over some video games, and I'm just gonna stick to the plan and do a job hunt. But I do appreciate somebody just coming up and offering me a job, and maybe I'm making a big mistake not taking the job. But that's just the thing about Las Vegas that I love. There's opportunities everywhere. People are very friendly. A lot of people move here from somewhere else, and I feel like there's just that level of wanting to help out, and people kind of understand everyone's shoes or situation in a degree. And if you're just putting the right energy out there and moving in love, the universe is just going to help out too. Here's some carne asada. I feel like the prices were well displayed in the last part, so I didn't have to be being that auction house guy. $13.29 there for that package of meat. If you're not a fan of meat, if you don't like looking at meat, I would encourage you just to skip past this part of the video. I don't need the viewership for, this segment. I definitely want you to feel comfortable watching the channel. Don't put yourself in a situation that you may not enjoy. Just feel free to skip past this part. If you want to utilize the chapters on the bottom of this video, please do so. There's no need to go for a 100% viewership on any of these videos. I definitely encourage just taking what you need from it, bouncing around. But if you are a fan of meat, I was thinking there's a chance in the future that this video might become almost iconic, in the sense of, let's say meat's hard to come by. And I don't know how much I believe that, right? But let's just say, I don't know how the world's going to look in 2035, right? 2030. 2030, I have guesses. 2035, I don't. There's a chance that just being able to, buy meat at this price so easily could be like a wow, remember the days. Remember when you can get that thin cut of pork for just over $10. Like, oh man, pork loin, a half loin for $13. Like, oh, maybe that was by the pound. I don't know. But you get the point. Maybe. So, if you do like meat, definitely, I think don't take it for granted a little bit. Just the ability to walk into the supermarket, purchase whatever you want, get a sale, and walk out of the store. Again, maybe I'm totally wrong, right? I don't want to be a predictor of the food market by any means. But I am a believer in appreciating the simple things in life, the little things. And I think that this is one of them. Just, hey, just being able to go in, buy yourself some organic beef here. Buy yourself that little thing for $7.27, $3.75 a pound, maybe $14.49 for that. Beef sirloin. Yeah, total price $24 for that. Total beef shank. When I was moving back to Vegas, I drove through Nebraska, I drove through Utah, drove through Colorado, drove through Iowa, drove through, obviously, Illinois, a little bit of Arizona. It was cool seeing the farmers raising the livestock in Nebraska. You'd see it in Colorado, I think. Mainly Nebraska, I remember. On a downtown street. And I have a lot of respect to those farmers that are out there, hustling every day and helping to feed people of America. The dust that hung from the desert skies, run though we'd run, it
it still burned our eyes. Oh yes, we may walk on the wild, wild side of life, and our movements traced by a stranger close by your side.
Yeah, there's a chance that some viewers may have not thought that Nevada gets all these options that we have, you know, legitimate grocery stores. There's a lot more than just a strip, and this channel is going to show it to you all, including the choice beef, right? Choice beef prices, as important as home prices, as important as the businesses in your area, as important as your commute to work. Not just choice beef, but you know, the groceries in general.
Night in a nameless town. Then we moved out of sight with a silent sound. A beach that wept with deserted waves. That's where we slept, knowing we'd be safe. Now you may think you can walk on the wild, wild side with me, but there's a lot I can learn and a lot that I've yet to see. You know you've got my life lying in your hands. It's up to you to make me understand. So if you think you know how to love me, and you think you know what I need, and if you really, really want me to stay, you've got to lead the way. Yes, if you think you know how to love.
Looks like there's some sort of sale on these. The prices were on the bottom there. Not sure why they go on sale. Maybe Smith's is just throwing a sale. Maybe it's got something to do with the date that the meat was packaged. Not too sure.
And you think you know what I need. And if you really, really want me to stay.
Got some burgers here. I have purchased that in the past, the $25 box of 20 burgers. I said before I cooked burgers recently on the stove, that was them. I think it's kind of cool how Wendy's has like sells their food products in different sections of the store. You can kind of see me in the mirror up there. I came back. This was at night. Most of the first hour and a half was during the day. Came back at night here to do the meats and the fruit. That was also at night. Lots of different chicken options. I mean, I learned from filming these videos, you can find chicken in any form. Talking about refrigerated here. We saw it in the can, frozen. You can get it ready to eat. You can get it hand trimmed. You got your organic, natural options too. That one's advertising no antibiotics. Thin sliced. The green container looks pretty cool on this. Kind of like a nice emerald green. More birders. Different percentages of lean versus fat. 80% lean here. %73%. Turkey burgers. All right, here's a lot of sausages, meatballs, bratwurst, things of that sort. Italian sausages. I mean, $4. They're $3.99 for the pack of sausages. So it's like, those are so nice, I had to show them twice. I don't know why I did the pan over twice for those Johnsonville sausages, but there you go. I was kind of playing around with the angling of this. Again, if you like to cook, if you're a fan, if you're a connoisseur of things like choice cuts, right? Some of this stuff is probably going to be more appealing to you. I'm just not that much of a cook, right? I'm happy with eating just about anything. I'm not too focused on the seasonings and all that, but it looks delicious. Lemon garlic right here for that piece of pork, I think. I think I'm pretty open-minded. I'm down to try nearly all foods. You gotta have an open mind in life. You don't wanna go some time with missing things, including food, just because you had an assumption about it. Lemon herb right here, that looks delicious. Chicken thighs, $10. Here we have hot dogs and sausages, but not the ones that are refrigerated in the styrofoam and the cellophane. This is more so your pre-packaged hot dogs and sausages.
Mais j'en ai assez vu, j'en ai assez vu pourtant, j'en ai assez vu, je regarderai comme avant, j'en ai assez vu, et pourtant, je regarde. I've been walking these streets so long, singing the same old song. I know every crack in these dirty sidewalks of Broadway, where hustle's the name of the game, and nice guys get washed away like the snow and the rain. There's been a load of compromising on the road to my horizon, but I'm gonna be where the light.
I'm not sure what you call these long sausages in that packaging. These are like your whole meats, your whole turkeys, your whole hams that you can get at the deli, or the deli worker can cut them, slice it up for you. They pay for it by the pound. I show the different prices in the video too of the deli counter. Okay, so there's like sizing or like a conversion chart for how many pounds equals how much meat will it make for sandwiches. There's like your price right there from Boar's Head. Cheese is on display. They also have pre-sliced cheeses coming up. Here's the prices of the cheese. Premium deli meats and cheeses. There's also Boar's Head pre-packaged in the refrigerators too. More prices of the deli meats. Feel free to pause if you have to pause. You don't need my permission to pause these videos, right? But just a reminder, if something's too quick for you, always feel free to pause. Take screenshots if you want of the deli cheese prices. All right, here's like some of those pre-packaged, potentially pre-sliced right in the shop, is what I would assume for the cheeses and meats here. That's an assumption. I'm not sure. Maybe it does come shipped in like that, but I don't know. Good amount for $5 in these bags. Or there's other bags, I think, down below for a little bit more. Here's some more seasoned meats. $7.79. No, I did not cover spices and seasonings in this video. That's another thing that I gotta do. That's important. Some people don't want to buy their meat already seasoned. They want to season it themselves. And sorry for not filming that in this video. It'll be in the next grocery store video that I do. Alongside yogurt and anything else that I forgot about that will come to me soon. Here we got seafood. I'm a fan of seafood. Salmon. My mom makes an incredible salmon. I've gotten to eat in Italy, in that town that I keep referencing, Porto Santo Stefano. Gotten to eat swordfish there. Gotten to eat shark, stuff that they sell you right next to the water. Go back to the house, cook it up at my aunt's there. Pretty cool times. There's some, I don't know, I'm in Vegas. You can get, if you want something, you can find it anywhere. I'm sure there's plenty of great seafood options if you're craving a nice piece of seafood without making it yourself, but Smith's is showing that there's plenty of options if you want to take it home and cook some nice seafood steak up for yourself, like those tuna steaks that we just saw, or swordfish steaks. Maybe that was just a salmon steak, my apologies. And it was closed at night, but there's like the deli, not deli area, but the seafood area where the employee will hand you the seafood that you want. That and the hot bar where there's like the hot and ready chicken, that was closed at night. So there's plenty of Smiths in the area. I'm gonna make sure that I get stuff like that filmed for the next Smiths video. Pastas, $1.99, different shapes, different sizes. The price seemed to stay the same, I believe. 4 for $5. $1.99. $3.19 for the lasagna. Spaghetti was $1.99 over there. 4 for $5. Rigatoni for $1.99. Just kind of wanted to say that name, rigatoni. Protein, even in the pasta. It's gonna find you. Different pasta sauces are about to be coming up, I think. Ragu. I remember Ragu had some wild commercials back in the day. I remember, I think their point was like that it was shockingly good. The commercials were shocking. Look that up. Ragu commercials from like 10, 15 years ago. Classico, $2.99. We got rice over here. Rice and some pinto beans. Rice and beans, I mean, that's almost another essential type of food group. $1.29, $1.99, $2.99, $2.29. Starting to see how I sound like that auctioneer guy when I list off these prices. Minute rice. We got soups over here. These are $1.99. I think these were the condensed soups. I think these are soups where you gotta maybe mix them up with water before putting them in the stove or microwave. I might be wrong. $2.49 for the family size. 4 for $5. Here's like your chicken broth. I think I was just showing that there was a lot of soup options before. Campbell's Chunky. Seeing these brought me back, just like thinking about NFL football advertisements. They were making this Campbell's Chunky soup sound like I bought 4 cans, to be honest. After filming this video, I bought 4 cans, and I'm excited to try it. I've never tried Campbell's Chunky soup for some reason. That's about to change. Okay, here's those pre-packaged, refrigerated Boar's Head deli meats and cheeses I was talking about. What I did not show in this video were your cheeses like Kraft and more so American cheeses. I need to do that in the next grocery store video as well. Up next, we're gonna have some ramen, different variations of ramen, 49 cents. This will be the and more. Over here you got Asian food. When it comes to the Asian foods, I'm kind of just looking at the photos and going off of that. Shrimp chips kind of caught my eye. I feel like there's something to that. I'm tempted to try that out in the future. You got like seaweed chips up here. Sauces and condiments. Gotta know prices of what you might want to put on those burgers, that chicken, those sausages. Does anybody remember when Chick-fil-A did not sell their sauces in the store? I remember going to the Chick-fil-A drive-thru and asking to buy the sauce, and sell it to you in like a tub. No squeeze, it was just a tub for $5. Great deal. Does anybody know where the Hidden Valley is? Been looking for that for a while. It seems like a great spot.
Chocolate malt with a cheeseburger and some fries. Sit in my lowrider, watch us a motion picture. Oh, wait a minute, baby, wait.
All right, we got sour cream and cottage cheese here.
Come to the sideshow, girl. Let's take a ride. Everybody's watching. Everybody's watching.
I've tried cottage cheese. It's not my thing. Sour cream also no longer something it seems like I can have too much of, but sour cream's a great condiment. Goes great in a lot of meals, I think. We're gonna end this video with more so some dessert type of things like ice cream. Didn't cover too much ice cream because the prices were pretty much all the same. Here we go. We got the big tubs of ice cream. About $6.99 on sale here at Smith's. All the same price, Lots of flavors. There's even sherbet. I'm pretty sure sherbet is dairy free. Over here you got like the Breyers, $3.99. Again, pretty much pick your flavor. It's gonna be $3.99. Maybe it's $5.99 originally, but on sale here, there's always gonna be a sale, right, on something. Over here we got 2 for $5 or $2.99 originally for the Kroger ice cream. Up top, I did buy that Fluffer Nutter. I got it, tried it last night. Almost wishing I didn't do that, but it was good. It was definitely good. Tie-dye burst, that reminds me of that Superman ice cream from like Baskin Robbins back in the day. Cake mix, another dessert here. A couple mixes. Cookie mix. Dolly Parton again. There she is with the cake mix for $2.49. Islands in the Stream.
Yes, sir. I hope you're enjoying this music brought to you by
Okay, we got marshmallows here. I've talked about before in the Cadence Central Park video. They got the bonfire there. You can reserve that. I mean, imagine getting some marshmallows here, putting them on a stick, and enjoying those over an open flame. Maybe in between some graham crackers and a piece of chocolate. Marshmallow cream. Right next to the marshmallow fluff. That is a marshmallow fluff. Is I think one of the best inventions ever. We have dry and evaporated milk. Did not know evaporated milk was a thing. I've heard of like condensed milk and that stuff. I think it might be for that baking purposes. Maybe it's for dietary purposes. Wasn't too sure, but I figured I'd put it in here because there was like photos of cakes and stuff with it. Pudding. Figured I'd have to get the prices of pudding on here. Very important. Know a couple big pudding fans. $1.79. Seemed like a good deal on pudding. Lemon, the lemon one right there, the snack pack lemon. That feels like the inside of a lemon meringue pie. Try that out. That's something I would recommend. We got Jell-O, 99 cents for the Jell-O. $2.49 for the bitter pack, gelatin dessert. We got chips. I didn't scan too much of the chips, but like $5.49 for like more of your bigger name chips for the big bag seems to be the going rate. $2.99 there for the chili cheese fries. $3.99 for the Lay's here. Back to $5.49. $4.29 for these like Morzo salsa dip and chips. I don't know why this is labeled fruit snacks. Well, I shouldn't have said that, but right now YouTube, this just showed fruit snacks, so I gotta move that, change that to where it should be. Fruit snacks, I think, might be the one that comes up next. Takis, I know these are a fan favorite here. The blue one, $6.29. Okay, here's the fruit snacks. Gushers, I think, might be. Name a snack that has higher trade value at the lunch table than Gushers. Fill me in. If there's something better now, let me know. Gushers, I feel like, have always been just one of the most premier snacks in the game. Somebody might trade their whole lunch for a pack of Gushers. I mean, I don't know. I don't know these days. But this is going to conclude the video, YouTube. Thanks for watching all these grocery store items. Highly appreciate you taking the time. If you watched this whole video, wow, right? Anybody that spent time watching someone in a grocery store, though, highly appreciate you. Take care, YouTube.
Only